The hosts of Fox and Friends hit a new low today. They did a segment where they're going to talk about undocumented immigrants getting help from 911. Take note of the tone and the message of the segment.
And they stumbled across the border illegally, and now they need your help.
Number one, take your emergency.
Somebody speak Spanish?
Sí.
Oiga, si pueden venir en un helicóptero pronto porque mi primo se está poniendo mojado.
A small Texas town forced to answer 911 calls from stranded illegals in Spanish. One of those sheriff's deputies joins us live today.
Right. All right, in a small town just 270 miles south of Houston, illegal immigrants are learning the hard way there's a deadly cost to crossing the border. Listen.
Number one, take your emergency.
Somebody speak Spanish?
Sí.
Oiga, si pueden venir en un helicóptero pronto porque mi primo se está poniendo mojado.
¿Pero está respirando?
Sí, poquito le apachurro su corazón y sí, ese aire.
Pues nomás habla con él, nomás dile, nomás habla con él para que Okay?
Okay.
Wow. Just one example of the 911 calls bombarding the Brooks County Police Department. Not only are they understaffed and lacking resources, now they've got to deal with illegal immigrants who have no business being here. Benny Martinez is the county chief deputy, chief deputy of Brooks County. And we appreciate you joining us, Sheriff. First off, when you're hearing that call, how unique are calls like that to you?
Well, all those calls are of course, they have a crisis, and we need to respond to them. And those are pretty regular calls on a daily basis.
So those calls you have to respond to, even though, for the most part, when you get there, you realize they're not even American citizens.
What do you want to do? Leave them there to die? Look, I came to a realization today watching this. We mock these guys and we have fun with it. But they're legitimately bad human beings. You have to be a bad person to cover this story in the way that they're covering it. You have to be a vicious and immoral person to react that way. They're outraged that 911 helps dying Spanish speakers. That's fucking incredible. I don't know if you saw at the beginning the banner on the bottom of the screen when Steve Ducey is talking and he's outraged about this. It says, "It's an emergency?" with a question mark. Yeah! Yeah, Steve, it's an emergency! There was another call that they played where somebody says, "We haven't had water in 3 days. We're incredibly dehydrated. We feel like we're about to die." And then it cuts back to Kilmeade. And he's like, you guys have to answer these calls? No, Brian. We leave them there to die. That's what we do. Because we love Jesus. How's that irony, too? You know, the Fox newscast. Oh, yes, we're conservatives, but we're Christians. We believe in Jesus. We believe in God. We believe in the Bible. We know that for sure. Would Jesus have done that segment? Think about this, man. They say that they're forced to answer 911 calls. Well, again, I don't understand. What do you mean they're forced? Again, are you implying that you would have done the opposite? But think about it if this was the same mindset in a different country. So let's say one of these jackasses goes on vacation to London or wherever, France, and then while they're there, they get hit by a car or something. They're in critical condition. Well, would a French news agency get out there and say, well, here we have these illegal immigrants in the country, and they got hurt, and now your tax dollars are paying for them when they're in the hospital to get fixed. Unbelievable. Well, no, that would be a ridiculous segment, because what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Just leave him there? Just fuck it. He's bleeding out in the street. Happens. Ha-ha. Shouldn't have came here. Should have paid us while you got here for the health care while you were here. Instead of moocher, parasite, look at you bleeding out there on the ground, stupid. Maybe you shouldn't be such a moocher, huh? But that would be a ridiculous segment. But when it's here in America, they act like it's just the most normal thing in the world. Like, what do you mean? Of course, yeah, we're questioning whether or not 911 should help people who are dying when they cross the border. again, I'm stunned by the lack of humanity of these people. Like, don't you understand that there are certain things that are not political? Like, this isn't a political issue. This is a humanity issue. If think about it like this, man, break it down to an individual level and see what they're calling for here. If somebody was laying out in front of your house on the sidewalk bleeding, some old person fell or something, and they're laying there bleeding, they appear to be unconscious, what are you going to do? What do you do in that case? You fucking help them! What do you do? Not this mindset of like, well, they shouldn't be on my property anyway. I see that they collapsed on my property. Why are they here? They're trespassing. I guess they're illegal. I guess they're undocumented in this area. I didn't give them permission. Why are they here? Are we sure we should help them? I mean, they don't even necessarily speak our language. They are filled to the brim with racism and xenophobia and hatred. And it's this tribal in-group, out-group mentality that is just stunningly obvious and apparent on Fox News. Again, I'm so taken aback by this segment because this crosses a line from just being, their normal political mumbo-jumbo nonsense into being like, you're bad people.